Here's a check on stories we're following for you on Robin Hood Radio. Pat Pagano's forecast calls for a partly sunny, humid day today, lower 90s. Partly cloudy tonight, 70. On Saturday, cloudy showers and thunderstorms developing, mid-80s. Sunday, cloudy showers and thunderstorms around 80. And on Monday, more showers and thunderstorms, mid-70s. We'll get the full details from Pat in just a few moments. In this morning's Republican American, a story by Ruth Epstein. First Selectman Charles Perotti in North Canaan said he'll pursue a third term when the Republican caucus convenes. Sitting in his office surrounded by paperwork, he spoke of his administration's accomplishments over the past 4 years and the projects he envisions going forward. Quoting here, "There are issues I'd like to see resolved so it's not left up to the next person," end quote. A schedule for blacktopping town roads has begun, and he hopes to see more of that in the coming year. An additional $100,000 for that purpose was put into this fiscal year budget. That money, along with local capital improvement program funds, should allow for the upgrade of more miles of town roadways. In Sandusfield, people keep leaving town hall, and the ledgers don't add up. When people arrived at the town hall for Monday night's select board meeting, they found an envelope on the table with board member Mark Newman's resignation letter inside. It's the fourth departure from the town office in 2 months, and Newman resigned on what was the last day of Dolores Heisko's 26 years as town clerk. His resignation is the latest controversy in the town after a spring of discontent over commercial pot cultivators' plans. Disagreements turned caustic and followed by the sudden announcement of the town administrator, Joanne Rybush, would resign, and Arso would also retire. It did not take long before the assistant town clerk, Pauline Macinis, also said she was quitting. Then came a mini audit revealing the town's books are askew. The Sandusfield Times published a draft copy of an accounting consultant's report that found a $7,712 difference between the town's accountant recorded in the general ledger and what the town's treasurer had written in its books. In Lee, opponents of a toxic waste landfill in town are mad that municipal officials seized their lawn signs without warning. The No PCB Dumps Action Group claims that Lee Lennox Building Commissioner B.J. Church illegally removed at least 24 of its No PCB Dump signs from private property without proper notification. Quoting here, "It's absolutely ludicrous without written notice that they can remove something from private property that's not a danger to others," end quote. That from Ann Langlalis, a spokeswoman for the group, noting that the 400 lawn signs distributed were up weeks after the Federal Environmental Protection Agency announced its February 2020 Rest of the River Agreement with GE. The Connecticut economy has now recovered nearly two-thirds of the record 294,000 positions lost during the partial economic shutdown in March and April during the onset of the state's COVID-19 outbreak. State labor officials yesterday reported 189,000 jobs have been regained based on preliminary estimate of June job gains and the revised estimate of previously reported May gains. Private and public employees added 3,500 jobs in June, according to the latest monthly jobs report. The initially reported May gains of 7,800 jobs was increased to over 8,100 positions. The estimated June gains raised total employment to 1,592,000. Payroll jobs are now 102,000 positions above June 2020 levels, a year-over increase of 6.8%. The state's unemployment rate was 7.9% in June, down from 8.1% in May and 11.4% of June 2020. Governor Andrew Cuomo has raised $2.5 million over the first half of the year, considering a run for a fourth term in 2022. Amid the scandals that have threatened his political future, the campaign haul is less than what Cuomo had raised at this point 4 years ago when he was gearing up to run for a third term and had brought in $5 million and had $25.6 million in the bank. Canaan Railroad Days is underway through this weekend. Lots to see: fireworks, train history, carnivals, live music. For a full list and time of events, CanaanRailroadDays.com. Zany, Janie, and Looney Lisa are live in concert at the Douglas Library in North Canaan today at 10:30. Silly songs for kids of all ages come at 10 for Story Hour with Cindy. The event is free. Of course, Friday on the Green continues the summer events in Norfolk tonight. Cyril and the Sorcerer, a magician presented by the Norfolk Land Trust. That will begin at 6:30 this evening. The Sharon United Methodist Church will hold a huge tag sale tomorrow from 9 till 3, both inside and outside the church. Sheffield Kiwanis is sponsoring a summer food drive on Saturday from 8:30 till 4:30 at the Price Chopper parking lot in Great Barrington. Now, during railroad days, there's a presentation connecting our region with 21st Century Rail, a conversation at the historic Canaan Depot that is being held at the depot tomorrow. A ham or turkey sub drive-thru is going on with lettuce, tomato, cheese, macaroni, sour chips, water, and dessert. That goes on tomorrow. Benefit the Wassaic Fire Company Auxiliary at the Wassaic Firehouse. Drive-thru only, pickup from 11 till 2. Tickets are $10. For tickets or more information, 845-406-8462. An essential worker recognition concert at Boyce Park in Wingdale. The region's essential workers are being recognized for their work over the past year and a half. It'll be held from 4 until 7 p.m. tomorrow. The concert will be held at Boyce Park on Route 55 in Wingdale. The band Scarecrow and other special guests will be providing music for the event. Spectators are invited to bring folding chairs or blankets to the concert as they come out to show their appreciation to local Hudson Valley heroes. Of course, Lime Rock Park is very busy this weekend with the Trans Am. St. John's Lutheran Church annual chicken barbecue being held on Saturday. Takeouts $15 for a donation. Tickets are limited. To reserve tickets, 518-329-0038. Sharon Historical Society and Museum has the opening of their next exhibit at the gallery at the Sharon Historical Society, works by 4 women artists. The opening reception will be held tomorrow from 5 till 7 p.m. The exhibition will be available to view under social distancing guidelines. Bring a mask for entry into the building. Our business brief is underwritten by Viale Insurance, 75 Main Street in Lee, insuring seasonal and secondary homes in the Berkshires since 1912. 413-243-0347. On the web, vialeinsurance.com. Underwriting support comes from Salisbury Bank and Trust, salisburybankandtrust.com, and Morgan's at the Interlaken, interlakenin.com. You'll also find them on Facebook and Instagram. The Dow Jones Industrial Average starts off today at 34,987.02, the Nasdaq at 14,543.13, and the S&P 500 at 4360.03. We'll take a look at the tri-state forecast. That'll come your way in just a few moments.